Hi everyone, this is Eldad YaYa Amara, back with another video. And don't forget to check out my channel, Eyes Wide Shut. Okay, and also my other channel, which is Spiritual Echelons, where I talk more about things such as religion, spirituality, natural medicine, yoga, acupuncture, and all those kinds of things. Today, let's talk about this 3D and 5D split. There's a 3D and a 5D split going on right now on this planet. And it's been more noticeable since 2020 when a lot of people start to take the BAP. I'm not going to say what it is. You know what I mean? The BAP in 2020. And that caused a massive split between society. You have some people who are saying they don't want to take the BAP. And you had some people saying that they wanted to take the BAP. Now, this caused a lot of problems because you had families having arguments. You had people, like families, having quarrels with each other, saying no, right, I'm not going to take the BAP, whilst others said yes, you know, if you don't take this BAP, you cannot come into my house, okay, I don't want to see you. Then you had the workplaces, yeah, some workplaces said that you had to take the BAP if you wanted to stay in your job, and some workplaces said you have to take the jab, you have to take the jab, the BAP, if you want to stay in your job. And this caused a massive argument between those people who were in work and said, no, I don't want to take this thing, I just want to wait just to see how far this thing goes, right, because it's a new trial and I want to wait and see what happens. I don't want to take the BAP at the moment. So what happened? People who refused to take the BAP were fired. Now this was going on all around the world. Now you've got the 3D and the 5D splits. Those people are in the 3D, on the low dimension, they don't see anything wrong with the system, whereas you got some people now, they're starting to wake up, right, and they're starting to see a lot of things, a lot of problems going on the planet. Their eyes are starting to open. So these are people who are into the 5th dimension. They're raising their consciousness and they're raising their vibration, whereas some people still want to stay on that lower vibrational frequency. Another thing that happened in 2020 and beyond, you had the war going on between Israel and the Palestinians. What else? You had the war going on between Ukrainians and also the Russians. So there's been a massive split in society. Also, people taking their kids out of school, saying that they don't like the way that the education system's going, right? So people start to self-educate their kids. And that's been going on since 2020. People refusing to have their kids going to school. And that has caused another split in society. So now we have this massive split between the 3D, which is a lower frequency people who don't see anything wrong with society, and then you got the people who are vibrating to 5D. Their consciousness has been raised, their eyes are starting to open, and they're starting to see the world differently. And so therefore you have the split between these two camps, the 3D and the 5D. You see, there's some people who see nothing at all wrong with the system. They are so deeply inert in the system, they're so deeply imbued in the system, and they don't see anything at all wrong with it. Now that's of their choice. There's nothing wrong with it as far as they're concerned. Okay, so they are still asleep, whilst the ones who are waking up see the ones that are asleep as their enemies, until a time when they start to wake up. Now, if anybody remembers the film The Matrix, you had Morpheus, and he's talking to Neo, and he's saying to Neo about he could either take the red pill or he could take the blue pill, right? But that was up to him. But he also said like that the people that were in the system, these lawyers, doctors, teachers, priests, and all the rest of them, were their enemies until these people started to wake up. Now this is a quote from The Matrix. The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around and what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. Until we do, these people are still a part of that system. So a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most people, you have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inured, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect it. Because they've become so conditioned through the media, they've become so conditioned through TV, they've become so conditioned through radio and all these other programs. And this is something that they were born into, right? Born into the system. And so they don't know nothing different. And because they don't know anything different, they want to continue within the system, within this matrix. The matrix is a prison. So, as I say, you're starting to see this massive split between the 3D and the 5D. Those people want to stay asleep within the system, and don't see anything wrong with it, and those people are slowly starting to wake up. The third eye is starting to open, and they want to see just how deep the rabbit hole goes. You see, Morpheus gave Neo the choice between either taking the blue pill or the red pill. If you take the blue pill, you just go back to sleep and things as normal. But if you take the red pill, you start to wake up and you go down that rabbit hole and you see just how deep that rabbit hole goes. Neo decided to take the red pill because he wanted to see true reality, how things really are happening within this matrix. As I say, people start to take their kids out of school. You got people now living in communities. You got people now who think very much alike are starting to form communities, groups. You got those other people. They're so deeply imbued, inert with the system, and they don't see nothing wrong with it. We're starting to see another split where AI is starting to take over society, and you've got a lot of people, they're into all this technology and they don't see anything wrong with it. And yes, there's nothing wrong with technology, but not to the point where it's going to take over our lives and to govern us. But some people spend so much time on their phone. They're on their phone for 6 hours on average a day. That's in the UK. And in America, it's 7 hours a day on average that people are on their phones. And it's causing people to be antisocial. People are not talking to each other. Sometimes you see people and they got their phones in their hand and they get on the bus and they don't even have a conversation with a bus driver. When you go out to pubs and restaurants, people are sat around tables and they're not having a conversation with each other. So the art of conversation is starting to die because people are more interested in their phones and more interested in technology. You see, things were meant to be used and people were meant to be loved. Look at the medical institution and how much advancement it has made. We now have robots that can actually help in surgery. In the education system, we've now made advancements in technology there. Yes, we've had some amazing advancements in technology, and I'm not knocking technology, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't think it should be a point that technology makes so much advancement that it has no use for human beings anymore, that it takes over the role and the jobs of human beings. Now, in technology we've had, and there's other sciences, yeah, such as the aviation industry, and how technology there has helped the aviation industry. So I'm not knocking technology, but what I'm trying to say is that I wouldn't want to see it take over the jobs of human beings. Okay, so we have to be very careful of it. But right now, there's so many young people, and they're spending so much time on their phones. They sleep with their phones. They eat with their phones in their hand. Yeah, they're out in public and they're not even looking where they're going. Alright, and the phone just seems to be taking over their very lives. You got some people, they're into all this. You got some people and they're into all this computer games. Yeah, that seems to take over a lot of people's time also, rather than socializing with other people. They're sat there and they're playing these video games on their console. We have to be careful that we don't get too carried away with this technology and we lose our humanity. Meant to be loved, but now people are in love with things and not in love with each other. Things have now gone into reverse. And I'll say that again. People are more interested in AI and technology than in humanity. You see, some people are starting to become like AI. AI is starting to overtake us. We are slowly turning into androids, and people just don't see it. They spend so much time with their phones. They spend so much time with this technology and they don't realize that the technology is learning or mimicking everything that they're doing. Now we have something called transhumanism. And what is that? I'm not talking about transsexualism, don't get it twisted. I'm talking about transhumanism, where robots and humans are starting to merge together. Eventually, the machines will start to take us over and we will become androids. Do you really want to become, let me ask you, do you really want to become one of these? Do you really want to become a battery? Because that is what we're moving towards. Do you want to become one of these? A battery? Wouldn't you rather humanity over this artificial technology? Now you got people starting to buy these Google glasses, these virtual reality glasses. And so they're moving into the metaverse. They got these glasses on and they're looking up at the stars. They think that the stars that they're seeing through these glasses are real stars. No, it's not. Oh my God, look at that. I can see all these stars. I can see Pluto. I can see Mars. I can see Jupiter. I can see all these various different planets. I can see all these stars. Oh my God. Oh, look. Look. We don't have to travel anymore. We can just put on these glasses and we'll be in any place that we want to be in the world. We can be in Japan. We can be in China. We could be in India. Oh my God. I'm on the beach. I'm on the beach in India. Oh, look. Oh, look at that person over there in the water. Oh my God. Oh, it's so warm. Oh, I need to get some shade. You don't have to go to a football match anymore. You can just put on these glasses, virtual reality glasses, and you're in the football stadium watching a football match. My God. People are starting to go into this metaverse, into this virtual reality world. They put these glasses on and they're somewhere else. Would you not rather be in the real world rather than being in this digitalized world that they're trying to create? You see, again, you're going to have a massive split between the 3D and the 5D. It is already happening. You got those people who want to face reality. They want to be in nature. Whereas you got some other people, they're all for this artificial world, this artificial insanity. Well, I would rather live in a real world than this artificially constructed world. But so many people are starting to move to this digitalized, to this metaverse, and using things such as cryptocurrency and digitalized money over real objects. Oh my God, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. I'm somewhere else. Oh, I can watch some concert. I can watch Michael Jackson. I could go and watch Eminem without having to leave my house. Oh my gosh. Is that the world that you want? Seriously? Is that the world that you want? I'm going back to reality. You're going to start to see from next year even more of a split in society, because now they got this thing called transgenderism. I'm not going to go into that, and I'm not down with this hate speech either, but you're going to see that's going to be causing a massive rift in society. They're talking about now that there's more than just male and female. They're talking about this thing called transgenderism. And don't get that mixed up with transhumanism. Transhumanism is to do with the emergence of robots and human beings. Sorry, transgenderism is something altogether different. So don't get it twisted. And as I say again, I'm not down with no hate speech. And I'm not going into this thing either in regards to transgenderism. That's people's choice. We're starting to see the split between the 3D and the 5D. Which do you want to choose? Do you want to choose this 3D dimension, this lower dimension, or do you want to try and find your true self and vibrate on a high frequency, which is on the 5D? Which do you want to choose? The 3D, or do you want to choose 5D? You see, those people who live in the 3D world have been conditioned into a certain way of thinking, and they're kept there through fear, through things such as anger, through hatred, through jealousy, through envy. That all keeps them down on that third dimension, right? They're too afraid to do anything, whereas they're looking at those people who are up on the 5D, who are vibrating on a higher frequency, trying to find themselves. They look upon them as their enemy too. They also look upon them as their enemy. And they don't see anything wrong with living within the 3D world. Now tell me this. Would you rather live in this prison, which is what we're living in, this matrix, or would you rather not try and find your true self and vibrate on that higher frequency? Again, I choose love over this artificially constructed reality, because this world that we're living in is a socially constructed world, and it does not allow us to find our true self. Those people who are vibrating on the 5D are trying to find themselves. They're trying to know thyself. As I say again, there's a split between the 3D and the 5D, and you can see it going on. Which do you want to be? Stuck in the 3D society, in this 3D world? Or do you want to vibrate higher and find your true self? It's up to you. This is Eldad Amara with another video. Over and out.